last time Pittsburgh beat Chicago, Mike Tomlin wasn't even the Steelers' head coach. But the black and gold look for their first win against the Bears in 16 years. And it's coming up next.
It is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Chicago Bears. Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at our visitors coming into play here, they're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon, and to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
First 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Ray McCloud to return. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by a man who rewrote Brett Favre's passing records at Southern Miss. It's Nick Mullins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of...
They'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Oh, that's a very good run there by Najee Harris, who can take it inside. He can get to the perimeter. He can do it all with his build and his speed. This is a guy coming out of Alabama who did everything for the Crimson Tide. That's why Pittsburgh took him in the first round. Last in the league in rushing as a team last year with the Steelers. They're expecting Harris to kickstart their running game.
16 more on that one and another first down. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. This is Harris. And not much running room. Down to the 32. A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 20 carries, 75 yards, and a touchdown.
Football now, we've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench to tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've
got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Pat Fryermuth with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row.
Before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And the Bears offense making their way out now for their first drive with Justin Fields, the rookie from Ohio State, at quarterback.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
The first carry now. This is Williams. The numbers for Williams a week ago: 15 carries, 59 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he's brought down after a very nice game. 23 yards on the play.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
From the 50, here's Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The quick slant caught. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears.
Justin Fields
hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback, It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away.
McLeod now on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen.
And this is going to be a Steelers first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
54 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And sometimes you see big plays develop on a route like this, a slant route, and the object, very simple. Get the ball to your receiver in stride. This one was right on the money. He didn't miss a beat, and then it's off to the races, and there he goes.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. Is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And down on the field, Jimmy Graham. This is where you hold your breath and hope it's not the knee again. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. 7 yards there and a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On first down, they go right back to Cohen, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of...
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly
play is like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and 1 changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. They snap it to Fields. Complete to Mooney on the slant. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now the first carry for Brian Hill. And he will have the Bears first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now a 2nd down and 6. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. He'll drop this down to Williams. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. We've seen this already from him in this game. 2nd time he's into the end zone with a rushing touchdown.
So the head coach is going to have a meeting with the owner this week. You know why? He's got to let the owner know, I know you wrote the check for his arm, but we're going to make him a part of our running game too. This guy can do it all. Let's see where he takes us.
Santos with the extra point, and we are tied here in the 2nd quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
62 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll even avoid into contact in the end as he will finally slide to a halt. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll set up a throw.
That's swung out wide to Harris.
He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Khalil Mack racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18.
He'll look to throw.
This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And Boswell's kick is good. And they take a 17-14 lead. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defense is awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense in the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind says cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up the first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. And he slings one that's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Ray McLeod deep for Pittsburgh.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He gets away from one. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point.
Akeem Hicks that time on the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Short little throw to Ebron. And he will have a Steelers 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Back to throw again. He gets it complete to Harris. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. On 4th down, the rookie Presley Harvin on to punt for the Steelers. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
On 2nd down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the 1st down.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
And quickly into the hands of Robinson. And he will have a 1st down here as they get into field goal range, down just shy of the 20. Here's Fields.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where you see the final score there. Ezekiel Elliott, well over 100 yards rushing with a touchdown run as well. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Jalen Hurts, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Tennessee Titans. Matthew Stafford leading the way in the victory as his guys continue to roll. They're 8-1 on the year. That's in that first half for the Bears, and they were able to have a little bit of success on the ground. The question will be, will they stick with it, or will they be throwing more to try and regain this lead? And meanwhile, for the Steelers, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. These two teams making their last-minute adjustments. The second half coming your way from Pittsburgh. And to bring it to you, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Graham, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Bears offense set to go to begin the 3rd quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Fields. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap. He locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Well, the terrible towels here at Heinz Field out in full force. Here's 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Wormley able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Dances by him. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for 3rd down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on 2nd down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play really...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Buying time to his left. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down.
Now it's Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Quick completion here to Johnson.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Boswell's kick is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they doubled that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Bears offense ready to get going again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Now Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Alex Highsmith, his 2nd sack of the night. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Bullard's throw complete there to Johnson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
On the give, this is Harris. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Partner, you know what I'm going to say before I even say it.
Yeah, you just cannot take a sack in that spot.
You're exactly right. You can't take a sack in that spot. Potentially now a 3-point swing right there.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20.
Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Joe Schobert, number 4 in the NFL in tackles last year, in to make the stop.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up,
They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Fields a quick throw out to Robinson. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
First down, Chicago. That's the end of the third quarter play with the score.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter.
A quick throw out wide to Mooney.
That catch good for only a couple.
Young Trent is here, baby. Young Trent is here.
Brings up second and 8 at the 47-yard line.
Second down and 8.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Forced out to his left, and he will slide to a stop. 15 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Got exactly what they wanted there out of the RPO and had the defense out of position.
One word for you there, excellent, because he read all the keys properly, made the right decision, and look at the result. Pretty substantial gain.
Flush to his right. Oh, no, he lost the football.
I know you feel it.
Recovered by the offense.
Fields going to get that out wide to Mooney.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
So the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34.
Devin Bush in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17.
So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the first quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Najee Harris and the Steeler offense set to go to work once again.
He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now.
They'll start the drive with Harris, and not a whole lot of room to...
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28.
Looking to throw.
Able to hit his target, Claypool.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 22 yards there, a first down. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. And that's incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area, and he just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Oh, the option to give to Williams here.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13.
Alex Highsmith there on the tackle.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Fields going to keep it once more.
And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Oh, what a move. 51 yards on the punt there. Nick Mullins and the offense set to take over. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Deshaun Gibson there on the tackle.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And Boswell's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chicago offense set to get started.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 yards.
Focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Meanwhile, Fields throw complete there to
before he's brought down. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. Williams is going to have the first down and a little more. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Now a throw downfield is taken in by his running back. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Off the option, here's Williams.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Well, here we go on 4th down. Fields.
This is caught.
And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And he's in for the touchdown, and barring a miracle, the extra point can win this football game. The dramatic score to tie it, and now they just need the PAT to get the lead late 4th quarter.
So much for the touchdown maker. It's all about the extra point attempter. And I can't wait to see how this one turns out.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was all capped off by the Justin Fields touchdown run. He took it in himself.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention on the Bears defense now. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range, because a field goal would win it?
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead. Whatever you do, don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
Maybe tight, but not too tight. Right?
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly right and no more.
See if they lace them right. And a timeout is called. So now you're looking at probably just one final play from back in their own territory, and they're going to need a miracle. They'll look to throw.
Pass complete to Ebron.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bears, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.